Rasmus Højlund. Thunderous. It's an absolute net buster.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the exciting Betfred weDiski post-match show. Your host, yours truly, uThisha. uThisha weDiski. On today's episode, we'll be looking at the round 2 of the UEFA EURO matches. On today's episode, we'll be featuring Denmark, who played England. And in our second match, we have Spain, who played Italy. Some interesting matches in the round 2. Were you shocked? Were you surprised? Or did things go according to plan? I mean, we saw how England played, but we also saw how Spain played. Spain, which I've said all along, are favorites coming into this tournament. If you got anything, any suggestions for the show, please feel free to leave them in the comments and let's hear what you got to say. And now, let's look at those two exciting matches. Starting with our first match, Denmark, who played England. Final score was 1-1. Denmark won, England won. Let's start off with England. England coming to this competition again as one of the favorites, as many people say, England, one of the favorites. On my opinion, personally, England are not the favorites for many reasons. They got the players. Coach, I think they need a better coach. I think it's about time Southgate gives somebody a chance. Or maybe he can still better. At the end of the day, they say it's not about how you start, but how you finish. England hasn't started off well. But hey, look, they're still top of the group. And they'll definitely qualify for the next round. But what will happen when they meet nations like Italy, nations like Spain, nations like Germany? Can they hold up? Only time will tell. We look at this game. England get the first goal. 18 minutes. Harry Kane scores. Of course, Harry Kane. Terrific goal scorer. As expected, Harry Kane to score. He did exactly that. He scores, England take the lead. 18 minutes, England are leading 1-0. So we're thinking it's done and dusted. Get your second goal, secure the win. Stay top of the group with your 6 points. Little did we know that Denmark was going to give a fight. Denmark comes back, that same first half, scores the equalizer. Halftime, 1-0. Denmark won, England won. If you look at the England starting lineup, I think England boast a great squad. If you look at the England forwards, you got Harry Kane, you got Watkins. Those two strikers are in terrific form, scored many goals in the different teams. You come to mid, you got Bellingham, La Liga, best player. You got Phil Foden, EPL, player of the season. You got Saka. We know what Saka is capable of. You got Cole Palmer, youngster of the season. What a great player. You got Rice. You got Manu. Terrific form. At the back, you got John Stones. You got Kyle Walker. What more do you want? I mean, the players I've just mentioned, those are players. Those players are good enough to actually even win the World Cup. But England, once again, they fall short. When will England actually bring it home? For many tournaments, it's always been said, bring it home, bring it home. Personally, these Euros are one of those tournaments again where it is expected to come home, but it won't come home. I hope England can surprise me, but personally, I don't think England will bring it home once again. We look at the game, ball position. Yes, stats favor England. England had a slightly higher ball position, 54, as opposed to Denmark 46. But if you actually watch the game, you would tell that the game was even. The game was even out. At one stage, you thought England is walking away with it. They're going to win it. I mean, Phil Foden hit the post a couple of times. England didn't create the chances. Denmark, on the other hand, whatever the coach said to the players, second half, those players came out blazing. They wanted the win. They came out for the kill. They almost won the game themselves. So the game was even. England had the chances to attack. Denmark had the chances to attack. At the end, a 1-1 draw, I think it was a fair score after all. Remember, in this group, there are 3 matches to be played. In this group, just a reminder, you have England, you have Serbia, you have Slovenia, and you got Denmark. First game, England won the game. Second game, this game we're talking about, England drew the game against Denmark. They have a final game against Slovenia, of which I think they should win the game. How will they win the game? Personally, if I had Southgate, I think the biggest mistake Southgate did, or the biggest headache he has, he's got a variety of excellent players. But now, his choices, I think that's where he slips up. I mean, if you look at Cole Palmer, for example, we all agree that Cole Palmer had a terrific season at Chelsea. The best young player, but he's yet to get a minute in the Euros. How do you explain that? Why are you keeping Cole Palmer on the bench? You look at mid. He likes starting with Alexander-Arnold. Yes, Alexander-Arnold is a good player and he's done fairly well for his team Liverpool, but that's in the past. If you look at current form, he hasn't been starting in that position that he plays for England for a while at Liverpool. So why bring him now when you got players on the bench who are capable of doing the same thing? You got Gallagher on the bench, you got Minor on the bench. I think if you had to put those players, they'd do a better job than what Alexander-Arnold is doing. Just my opinion. If you disagree what I've just said, or if you agree, feel free to leave your comment. Let's hear what you got to say. But just a reminder, if you are enjoying the show, please feel free to press the like button. But most importantly, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. So England, like I said earlier on, they played a 1-1 draw with Denmark. England only scored 1 goal. Surprisingly, with all the star-studded players I've mentioned for England, surely you're expecting England to score a goal. Surely you're expecting Harry Kane to score even maybe a hat-trick. You're expecting Phil Foden to score. You're expecting Bellingham to score. I mean, those guys that I've just mentioned had wonderful seasons for the different clubs, but they only scored 1 goal. I think if you look at the style play of England, for a striker like Harry Kane to finish, he needs assists. He needs crosses. If you look at stats for England, crosses made, England only had 2 crosses. If you expect a striker like Harry Kane to score goals for you, how will he score if you're not bringing in those crosses? You have players who are capable of doing that, but why aren't they making crosses? I mean, you have Saka. We know Saka is such a speedy runner and is good with crosses. Give Saka the ball, make him make crosses for Harry Kane to finish. Also with Harry Kane, if I was coach, I think I'll start Harry Kane on the bench. Bring in Watkins. I mean, wouldn't you choose current form, over experience? Yes, Kane did score. We know what Kane is capable of. But why not give a young man like Watkins a chance? I mean, Watkins did very well for Aston Villa. Give him a chance now in the England starting lineup. Let's see what he has to do. A player like Phil Foden also. I think Phil Foden, the coach, he's playing him out of position. We know Phil Foden to be more effective coming in as your number 10. Or your 4th striker. I mean, that's what he does at Man City week in and week out. But if you're going to put him on the side, I think he's just not used to that. But then, again, I understand the headache that Southgate has. Because if you're going to play your Foden as your number 10, then it means now you must sacrifice Bellingham. Where are you going to put Bellingham if you're going to put Phil Foden? So those are the key factors that Southgate must work around. But I think Southgate is capable of bringing in the correct strategy and using his players to the fullest ability. Because like I said, with those players that England has, England is capable of winning the World Cup. Now on to our second and final game. For me personally, the game of the week. That is Spain, my favorite coming to this tournament, who hosted Italy. What a game we had. Italy, just a reminder, defending champions of this tournament is Spain. Last time they won it was in 2012. But with the lineup, with the squad that Spain has, are definitely favorites coming into this tournament. Yes, when I said Spain are favorites coming to this tournament, I had different opinions. People argued. People said there is no way Spain is going to take this tournament. People said Spain is now a shadow of themselves. It's not the Spain that we all know, the Spain we saw in 2008 or the Spain we saw in 2012. But I say to you, the Spain that we see now in 2024 is the Spain that is going to take the Euros. Let's look at this game. Final score, Spain 1, Italy 0. Spain 1. Spain are currently top of the group. As expected, I expected Spain to win. I expect Spain to win all 3 of the group games and finish on top. That's exactly what they're doing. Yes, you might say Spain had a lucky win. They won by a goal to 0. They didn't score. They had Italy to score for them. It's part of football. That's what happens in football. A goal is a goal. It doesn't matter how you get your 3 points. What is important is that you actually get your 3 points. You go back to the game overall. If you look at the ball position, Italy had 43% ball position, and Spain, on the other hand, had 57%. That's a true reflection of the game if you actually watch the game. What Spain did, Spain was able to keep the ball like what they usually do. But I must emphasize, Italy had a wonderful game. I mean, they counter-marking, they counter-pressing. That was a game to watch. I enjoyed the game. It was such a fast-paced game. With all the youngsters there, I mean, it was expected. With the youngsters that Spain has, you had your likes of Pedri in your starting lineup, who had a terrific game. Substituted in the 71 minute, but he had a terrific first half. For me, personally, he was my man of the match. He did excellently. Of course, we have to mention Williams. Williams had a wonderful time there on the wing. I mean, he was causing havoc for Italy. I think Italy defenders worked overtime because of Williams. And if you saw the goal, the own goal that Italy scored, Williams was part of it. Williams got the ball, took the guys one-on-one, made a cross, deflected, unfortunately, off the defender, back of the net. And that's how Spain actually won the match. If you're a youngster and you want to play ball, start watching matches. Start watching Spain matches. That's football for you. That's football for you. If you look at the team, most of those players, in fact, all of those players are capable of individual brilliance. They're good on the ball. You got Jamal there. You got Pedro, who I mentioned there. But they play as a team, which is what I always emphasize, play as a team. But of course, you'll always play like a team when you got a leader in Rodri. That number 16, Bafetu. The best number 16 you'll find anywhere currently. Tell me of any better midfield than Rodri. Leave it on your comment. Let's see what you have to say. But for me personally, Rodri. No better player than Rodri. If you got Rodri in your team, you are complete. In our first game, when we spoke about England, I said England is missing something. They're actually missing a Rodri. Get a Rodri for England. England will win you the World Cup. England will win the Euros. But because Spain has Rodri, Spain is going to win the Euros. We'll talk again in the final when I remind you of what I said earlier on. You look at Italy. Italy is expected to qualify. I expect Italy to finish on 6 points. Italy would definitely win the last game. I mean, in the last game, they have Croatia. It's going to be a much easier game for them. I mean, after the performance I saw against Spain. They were unfortunate. Yes, Spain won, but they're unfortunate. Because if you're going to look at the overall play, I think Italy deserved a goal. Italy were hungry. You could see the hunger. You could see the determination. You could see why they actually won it in the previous edition. You could see they actually won and defended. It's unfortunate they were grouped with Spain. But again, I say it's fortunate because now it means they can only face Spain later on, I think, in the final. Watch out. Final might be Spain and Italy once again. Because Italy, after that performance, Italy is going far in this tournament. I think they're capable of reaching the finals. You look at the overall play. Evenly balanced. But what's going to count end of the day is the form. I'm speaking about form. When I mentioned Spain, I told you the players they have, the experience they have. Barcelona influence. Real Madrid influence. Yes, you can say Barcelona's out of form. Barcelona didn't play so well. But I repeat, Barcelona and Real Madrid are the best teams in the world. They will be the best teams in the world for a long while. Yes, you will have your Manchester City there adding the numbers. You'll have your Inter Milan adding the numbers. If you play for Barcelona and Real Madrid, you are home. You are complete. That influence came again for Spain. If you look at the Spain players, they consist of majority of Barcelona and Real Madrid players. You look at your defense, you have a player that plays for Real Madrid, or Carnival, your number 2. Excellent job. He was the one controlling the back there. Italy strikers had it tough there. They couldn't do anything. Hence, they failed to score a goal. You go to your mid. I mentioned Rodri again. I'll mention Pedro. I'll mention Jamal, the youngster, the 16-year-old who's doing wonders. Again, where are they from? They're from Barcelona. They showed again what they can do. Up front then, you have Umarata, who had a decent game. Where is he from? She's from Spain. So you can see with the La Liga, what the La Liga is bringing. I see great things coming. I see great things coming. What a game we had. We had a wonderful game. Last games to go. I expect both these teams to win. I expect Italy to win the last game and finish second in the group. But then Spain, like I'll tell you, Spain are on the course to win the Euros. They beat Italy. Let's see who they face in the knockout stages. But after the performance I saw against Italy, I'm still sticking with Spain to take the Euros. If you enjoyed the show and you haven't yet pressed the like button, please press the like button. But most importantly, if you haven't subscribed, please press the subscription button and subscribe to our show. Until the next episode, stay blessed.